Hello, hello. Welcome to day two of Speak Like a Leader. Today, we are going to be talking about how you can speak the language of leadership. So, yesterday was so powerful, wasn't it? A big shout out to all of the ladies who joined me live. It was amazing. And in yesterday's session, you learned that it's not your work, it's your words. And I bet some of you woke up this morning already thinking differently about how you can communicate, how you can change the words that you're using to have an even bigger result, impact in what you're doing. Maybe you even caught yourself in a meeting today thinking, oh, I could have said that differently. That is awareness, and that is huge. That is your first big win. Don't underestimate the power of awareness. You have to be able to see a thing before you can change a thing. And today I want to start with sharing something that happens all the time. And I want to share it with you so that as you get this win and as you move forward with trying to change your language, with trying to speak like a leader, you don't find yourself in a place of frustration. So let me tell you about one of my clients, Nicole. When Nicole first came to CWL, she was excited because why not? She had already figured out that she needed to change her words. She had stopped saying things like, I handle the monthly reports, and started using language that talked more about her values, such as, I deliver analytics to help the sales team. Good shift, right? Progress, right? But here's where it gets interesting as we play this out. Despite using better words, she still wasn't getting the recognition that she wanted. So she comes into a call or time with me and she says, Anita, I'm saying all the right things, but something is still missing. I'm still not getting there. Let me tell you what was missing because what I'm about to share, this is going to be game changing for you. We are going to up level from even yesterday and all of its amazingness. Yes, I made that a word. There is a difference between value and impact that most people don't understand. And once you get this, it will change everything. Value is what you or your proposal will do. Impact, on the other hand, is the result of what you've achieved. I'm going to say it again. When we talk about value or articulating your value, value is what you or your proposal will do. Impact is the result of what you've achieved. So let that sink in for a moment. Now I'm going to tell you the difference. Let's say in your next meeting, someone's going to ask about a project. What we often do, what you may be doing, is saying something like, we'll streamline the process to save time. That's value. What you will do, right? The value is that you're going to streamline the process, and the value in that is that it will save time. But leaders know how to show both value and impact. They might say something like, our last process improvement project saved the team 10 hours a week, which we were then able to use to increase customer calls by 15%. In this next phase, we expect to double that impact. You see what happened there? They showed the impact they've already achieved or created and the value that they will create. That's how leaders think. That's how leaders communicate. Let's break down a little further when and how to use each one. If we're talking about value, we talked a little bit about value yesterday in day one. Value, that's your will do statement. And it's perfect for when you're proposing new ideas, preparing or making a request for resources, you're making recommendations, you're pitching solutions. It could even be used in an interview setting, depending on what you're responding to or proposing. Here's what this might sound like in a real life scenario. Instead of saying, I want to update our customer service process, You might say, I propose redesigning our customer service process to reduce response times by 50% and increase our customer satisfaction scores. But then here's where most people get stuck, but not you, because you're going to have the information that I'm sharing, right? Right. They stop there. They think showing what they will do is enough. That's why you might be getting those polite nods in meetings. That's why people might be letting you do the things that you're proposing, but you're not getting the recognition that you want, the promotion, the opportunities, the money that you want on the back end. This sis, is where impact comes in. Showing the results you've already achieved. You use impact when you are giving updates, sharing results, building your credibility, and asking for recognition. So when you're asking for that raise, we're not just talking about the value that you created, we're talking about the impact of that creation. An example for this one would be, instead of saying the customer service update is going well, you might say something like, since implementing phase 1 of our customer service redesign, we've cut response times by 30% and satisfaction scores are up 15 points. Now, here's where it gets even more powerful. And this is what separates good communicators from great leaders, great communicators. And it's knowing how to use both. I want you to think about your next big meeting. Maybe you need resources for a project. Most people walk in and only talk about what they will do. A leader, a senior leader, an executive leader is going to walk in with both. Our last initiative increased efficiency by 25%, saving us $100K quarterly. During this next phase, we expect to double that impact, putting us at $800K year over year. You see the difference? They proved that they could deliver by showing the impact first. Then they built on that to show what the future value will be that they are going to then create. But, and this is important, knowing this isn't enough. I want you to be careful, especially if you are a Black woman who has listened to day 1. Now you're listening to day 2, and you're going to want to say, okay, I have what I need to go forward. And that is fine if you do. And if you believe that, and if you are going to implement it. But I want you to be thoughtful about where you still need help and where your blind spots might be. Okay? And here's why I say that. I have, again, if we go back to Nicole knew all this, but she was still struggling with when to use each one and how to adapt it for different scenarios. And so this is why having support and guidance makes such a difference. This is why inside of CWL, you can drop in and ask a question. You can say, hey, Anita, I'm about to go into this meeting, and can you tell me how I can say this? Or I have this email, how can I say this? The more that we practice how you can say the things, the more it will come to you naturally. You will be able to do it on your own. But in the beginning, you do want to consider if you need support. Not only that, in our community, while there are frameworks, we spend time together with me and in the kind of conversation throughout the month with how to use these frameworks for your specific situation. So right now I'm giving you examples, I'm giving you concepts, I'm giving you information to help you be more aware of where your communication gaps are. How these apply to your specific situation, I don't know unless you're inside of CWL and I can hear all the things to be able to help you tweak it even further and know what to say, when to say it, how to say it if necessary, so that you come across as authentic, you get the practice and reps that you need, and you elevate how people perceive you. So if we give an example of another member who is struggling with her project updates, she knows that she needs to show impact, but she's not sure what impacts matter to her leadership. working together, we figure out that while she is focused on metrics, that's how she thinks about things in an analytical way, her leaders care more about market position. Those are two different things, and value is not determined by you, it's determined by the other party, as well as the impact of that value. Once she shifted to show impact on the market share, everything changed. Now she's been included in more strategic discussions. Now people are asking her opinions based on the information that she does have, her knowledge base on how they can increase the market share, because now she knows how to speak the language of leaders. When you know how to speak the language of leaders, doors will open for you. The doors aren't opening that you may want right now because you don't know the language, and they're not going to give you the key. I am with almost all of the members inside of CWL. I have sat down and spent time helping members create presentations, because you got to know your audience in order for your presentation to give, okay? For it to get the result or the outcome that you expect. I have helped write emails. I have helped negotiate offers. I have helped with the language of these things. And that is one of the benefits of being inside of CWL. You don't have to do it all alone, and you don't have to do it all at once. Tomorrow we're going to build on this. So yesterday we talked about mindset and value. Today we talked about the language of leadership and being able to talk about value versus impact, and to put those together to create even more powerful messaging and statements. Tomorrow, we're going to build on this to show you how to structure these messages for maximum influence. But for today's takeaway is that I want you in your next update at work to share a statement that has both value and impact in it. I want you to pay attention to how people respond differently. Do they look surprised? Do they say different things than they've said to you before? If they don't, what needs to be tweaked? Pay attention to what metrics seem to get the most attention, or what things are of value to the people you're talking to. Remember that value shows what you will do, impact proves what you've achieved. Mastering both, combining these both in your language, means that you're able to speak the language of leadership. For those of you inside of the Speak Like a Leader community, I'd love to hear the statements that you're going to create that include both value and impact. P.S. Value and impact applies whether you are in corporate and want to get promoted, whether you are in healthcare and you want to get promoted, whether you are an entrepreneur or have a side hustle and want to grow your business. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.